Hello everyone, this is Crustalmania and welcome back to another video. In this video, this is going to be the second PSA return from Gamestop. So I only submitted 4 cards to Gamestop and they're all vintage. They were the damaged cards. This is really just an experiment to see what they would get. I'm probably going to get cooked pretty hard on these, but I really wanted to see if any of these would hit PSA 1s and just kind of what grades they would get. There's most of them I would think are like pretty much 2s, but I did look at the grades before and there were a couple that were actually higher than I thought, which I guess I don't know too much about grading and just kind of learning as I go, but it was just kind of surprising that most of them, or if not all of them, were not 2s. So there's only 4 slabs here, and basically from what I was told at GameStop, you only get the box if you grade a lot of cards with them, so more than 4. If you only grade like a few cards, like 3 or 4 or 5, they'll put your cards in a bag and hand them to you instead of like the PSA return box or whatever. This is my second time grading. I might only grade like a couple more times just because, you know, I'm getting cooked, it's expensive, but I really did want to see what it was like to kind of grade. Not that I would always suggest grading, but it was just something interesting that I thought would be an interesting thing to show on this channel, which is why I'm doing it, even though I'm getting cooked. I just want to show it a few times just to see if I can get eventually a PSA 1 and then maybe not grade after that, just to see what a PSA 1 entails. So these are the 4 cards. Here's the Lechonk coin. Shout out Lechonkamania and the Lechonkalypse. Ready for that. So let's look at this slab here. So this one I can't really tell off the bat. Oh, this is the Machamp. This is the first edition regular damaged base set Machamp that comes from the I think starter deck, the base set starter deck. So that's definitely one of the cards, and this got a PSA 3. I'm actually kind of surprised. I thought it would get a PSA 2. I'm assuming maybe it has to do something with the centering because it's pretty damaged. I mean, look at that streak of aluminum foil right there. Like, the aluminum's showing in that streak right there, so it must be the centering or something that made it be at a 3. This is the second card here. This is the base set 2 Wigglytuff. You can see the creases and all the scratches on the hollow foil. It is pretty centered, so it may get a better grade based upon that. So there are obvious creases, but the centering is actually pretty good. And a lot of the older cards, the centering is pretty good, so it's harder to get that. PSA 2, okay, I kind of will take that. I thought it would get a PSA 1, but again, I think the centering's a bit too good to get a PSA 1. As Mr. Lechonkamania said, there are a lot of qualifying factors to get a PSA 1, so that kind of makes sense. And then this is the third slab, so I think this, I actually don't know which card this is. There's a lot of whitening, there's a crease there. This is the, oh, this is the Mewtwo. Okay, base set Mewtwo. Look at the scratches, it's pretty damaged, like, whew, man. But I guess the centering's still pretty good, even though like the back is pretty destroyed. You see all that whitening on there. Definitely this card has been played with, loved, appreciated in its past. So this card got a grade of a PSA 2. Okay, that's kind of, I thought it would get a PSA 1, but a PSA 2 is pretty good as well. I know this card is pretty beat up, so PSA 2 would make sense. And then this is the last slab, so nothing super crazy. So I do know what this one is just based off of elimination. This is the base set Hitmonchan. This card is really cool. Centering's actually really good considering all the scratches to the hollow foil and to the card itself. This is a lot of whitening on the side, so this Hitmonchan got a PSA grade of a PSA 4. Wow, I did not expect that. Not exactly sure how this gets a 4 with all the scratches and stuff like that. I mean, I thought this would at least get like a 2 as well. So I really don't know how they grade. I know it's really subjective. But this is the PSA 3 Machamp first edition structure deck promo card, almost like. Base set 2 Wigglytuff with some creases. So there's that there. There is the base set PSA 2 Mewtwo holo foil there. That is a really nice Mewtwo card. Then the last one is the Hitmonchan PSA 4. Pretty crazy, honestly. Did not expect Hitmonchan to get a PSA 4. I did not expect Machamp to get a PSA 3. Those are all pretty high. I thought they would at least all get 2s. I thought maybe one of them would be a 1, but at least 2s, just because they're all pretty damaged. So I'm like kind of surprised that the Hitmonchan got such a high grade at a 4. Not that it increases its value, it's just like, what are the odds of that? It's considered a damaged card, but I guess the centering is quite good, and there's not insane things on there in terms of like bending and being off center, so I guess it qualifies as a 4. But I thought there would be some other cards that may get qualified as a 4. So anyways, those two kind of confused by in terms of grading. Those two, it's okay, but I figured that one of those two would get a PSA 1. But overall, that's my second PSA return. Not great. If you look at it realistically, probably lost about $30. Again, this is an experiment. This is not for the money factor. Eventually, I may sell these. I may not. We'll see what I kind of do with these, but this was more of an experiment to see what qualifies to eventually get a PSA 1. So we'll see if the Ditto that I got from Mr. Lechonkamania will end up being a PSA 1 when I submit it. So we'll see along those lines. But anyways, I hope you guys liked this video. See you guys in the next one. Peace.